Okay, good evening, Hayden, Idaho. I'm calling to order a regular meeting of the City Council. It is Tuesday, March the 10th, 5 p.m. May we get a roll call of council members, please?
Council President DePriest.
Here.
Councilmember Erickson.
Here.
Councilmember Schaefer.
Here.
Councilmember Roeder.
Here.
Okay. Abby, would you lead us tonight? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, additions or corrections. I'm not anticipating a law enforcement report. I think we normally get those on the second meeting of the month, although
We got it ahead of time, so.
Although we
that
do
was-
have a paper report here, and we have a deputy who is with us tonight. Thank you. I'm not aware of any other additions or corrections, so we will move into our first item of business, which is a proclamation. Every year, the city of Hayden proclaims itself with Arbor Day. It's a Tree City USA certification for Hayden. It's one of our major events of the year. We get about 350 to 550 students with parents and teachers from Hayden Elementary Schools every year. And we generally set up 15 to 20 stations. And we learn all about trees, planting history, wind, soil, water. And it's a great program. So with that, I will move to our proclamation. Now, why did you do that, computer? Whoops. Oh, I already had it open, sorry. Okay, I'm going to jump just down to now therefore I, Alan Davis, Mayor of Hayden, Idaho, along with Hayden City Council, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, May 13th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the city of Hayden. And I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodland. And further, I urge all citizens to plant and care for trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. And for those that are watching this afterwards, please come out and join us. It's a great celebration. Susie and her team put on a fabulous show. With that, I'm gonna move to the consent calendar, which consists of approving the 2026 Skyhawks Sports Academy LLC contractual services agreement, 2026 What We Care Wellness Center LLC contractual service agreement, Hiller Fire Monitoring Agreement for Public Works Facility Alarm System, James Construction Proposal for Stoddard Garage Minor Improvements, request to advertise the 2026 Chip Seal Project, fleet agreement with the Dirty Bird Car Wash, Steve Griffiths to Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee, striping agreement with Specialized Pavement Markings, Welchcomers, Honeysuckle Avenue, and Ramsey Road Roundabout Bidding Services Agreement, PZE 250110 North Ramsey Road Extension, Annexation Written Decision, 2026 Hayden Summer Concert Series Agreement with Michael Cope, DBA Cope Concerts, contracts with Vertis to conduct a structural condition assessment for the Stoddard silo to support replacement of the roof, ratification of February 2026 payroll bills for payment, and just for the record, items A through L start with approve the. Council, any questions, discussion, motion?
Just one comment on 1G, that Steve Griffiths, I think, will be a really good addition to our development impact fee. As a former mayor, I think he understands a lot about cost and development and infrastructure. So I think that's a great selection.
Second.
All right.
Is
Someone
that a
want
motion?
to, I want to make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Sure. Yeah, I got excited there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, and I second, I think Steve will do a great job with his knowledge and experience and expertise. I move to approve the consent calendar A through N as listed.
Second.
Any discussion? Maybe we get a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Schaefer.
Yes.
Councilmember Erickson.
Yes.
Councilmember Roeder.
Yes.
Council President
Yes.
DePriest.
All right, moving on to visitor public comment. Abby, do we have any cards?
No.
Okay, we have no. Is there anybody in the audience that wants to testify for anything? Okay, seeing a no, we're going to move on to unfinished business. Our first item is an action item to consider the joint letter of council and mayor to Aquifer Protection District. This is basically an endorsement letter requesting the Aquifer Protection District perform a study. It was discussed last council meeting. So is there any additional discussion, or would someone on council like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion, Mayor, that we approve the Aquifer Protection District draft letter from council and mayor.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion being made? Hearing none, may we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Erickson?
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer?
Yes.
Council President DePriest?
Yes.
Councilmember Roder?
Yes.
Okay, our next action item is to consider proposals for law enforcement strategic plan and direct staff on how to proceed. Council, has everyone turned in or is planning on turning in their evaluation forms?
Yep.
Got mine right
Brought
here.
their homework?
Yep.
All right, so this is not a new item. Tonight, we will be deciding,
Thank you.
going to pass them down,
Oh, we're going to do it,
or do you need them for?
probably need them
reference?
for maybe discussion.
I figured.
All right, and if you guys need them for discussion. All right, well, it's not a new thing, so David, you want to go first?
Yeah, I took some notes.
Okay.
I'm going to pull them up really quickly. Of course, I have it in my files. All right. So basically, when reviewing both of these proposals, Matrix, in my opinion, appears to be the stronger and more suited group to conduct the survey for the needs that we have. And here's a little summary that I wrote. Based on the review of both proposals, Matrix Consulting Group appears to be the stronger fit for the City of Hayden's needs, while CPSM offers a credible and lower cost operational analysis. Matrix proposal more directly addresses the broader strategic decision facing the city. Matrix's scope includes startup cost modeling, long-term operating projections, staffing models, facilities considerations, technology systems, and transition planning. These components are critical for providing the city council with a clear and comprehensive understanding of the costs, risks, and implementation considerations associated with forming a municipal police department. Although Matrix's proposal is more expensive, the additional scope and decision-oriented analysis provide greater value for a study that will influence a significant long-term public safety and financial decision for the city of Hayden. So basically, it's more thorough, and it adds more depth, and it helps us make our decision, not just for how many deputies we need, but what do we do? And CPSM, in one of the analysis that they provided as an example, they explicitly state that they did not want to recommend or deny whether that city should start their own police department or not. And we're looking for more direct input. Not that we're going to do exactly what the study says, but there will be more specific guidance if Matrix gets involved.
All right. Tom?
I'll speak to the audience here for the benefit of their consumption on this. So at the last meeting, I articulated what I thought were the strengths and weaknesses of both proposals. And at that time, I came down on the side of, forgive me, the acronym Center for, what is that?
Public,
Sorry?
I think it's public safety management.
Yes, yes.
CPSM?
Which is the less expensive of the two, but they had much greater depth of actual law enforcement experience. And that proposal seemed to be more dependent on data analysis. after we submitted questions to them and they responded with their answers, each one of them gave a comparative study that they thought would match Hayden in terms of population size and needs. And in that one, Matrix actually had a study which was almost ready-made for what our needs are.
Right.
And I was really impressed by that. Having said that, though, I put everything aside and I did my scoring based upon the previous reading I had done, as well as the reading from their responses. I still came up with the Center for,
CPSM?
yeah,
or whatever it is.
CPSM.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, either one would work for us. We just need to be Mr. Johnny on the spot, hands-on, and make sure that they are meeting our specific goals for a law enforcement study. And that's where it's really important that the public understand what we're trying to do, which is, this is kind of like giving us a strategic plan equivalent to our sewer master plan or our streets master plan. It will help us define our level of service, which is appropriate for city now and city 5 and 10 years out. And it will give us a framework by which we can go out and bid on a law enforcement that is either in-house or continues with the county sheriff. And I think either company will be able to do that. We just have to make sure that they hear us and that they return the kind of input that we need.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thanks.
Ed?
Yeah, I pretty much am going to agree with what the two previous council members stated. Yeah, I looked at them and they're both equal, roughly. Pluses and minuses, strengths, and, it's hard to tell when people put proposals together. They all, boost themselves up unless you're able to do background checks and all that other things and talk to people. Of course, they're selling themselves. So that's what I saw, a lot of them in both. But I barely lean towards Matrix for the primary reason of they do appear to understand more that we're looking for comparative costs related to what we're being charged now and will be charged down the road, as the trend seems to want to go here, compared to that and what it will cost for operations of an in-house police department. I think the main, and as Councilmember Schaefer stated, we need to be very clear with whoever we choose that this isn't a popularity contest or based on ideology. This is based on structure and the needs of the community related to our current level of service, our current crime statistics. I mean, crime statistics, not, animal control and things like that, but based on what we truly need. And I think that it's likely that Matrix will probably, if we are very specific with them and the communication is very strong and, kept current with them to give us what we need.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. This is an interesting task to do. I look at, what I reviewed was our request for proposal that our staff put together to try to really narrow down and cover what we need. And I must say, staff, thank you. That was a great proposal, request for proposal. And I think that by law, I think we're told we got to do a really good job on that too. So as I reviewed the request for proposals, and then reviewed the proposals, then I also considered we had submitted questions to both consultants and then read their answers, and I looked at those, and I think that where I found differences, of course, in the cost, Matrix was it was more expensive than CPSM, so Matrix got a little lower score. We're supposed to score this by points. However, I found that like the technical capabilities and knowledge, the professional qualifications were really similar in both consultants. But what boiled it down a little bit was the quality of the proposal. Not that their proposals were that bad. It's just, I believe that Matrix was more succinct about what they would do, and it seemed to match more of what I think we're looking for. And so I gave a higher number to Matrix under the quality of proposal than I did CPSM. So with that, based on my scoring is I select Matrix as who we should do, hire as the consultant. What's really important that who we vote on tonight is that they understand that we have a current relationship, I think they do, with our sheriff's department, and I hope that they give us a really good analysis of what we're receiving for the money that we're paying to also determine what the needs of the city would be for a police department if we go that route. That's a really critical aspect of it. So they're going to have to integrate with the Public Safety Commission, with the Sheriff's Department, with the county commissioners to get as much information about what are we receiving as a city. And I think that's where some of the value comes in, because having that analysis done by a third party to say this is exactly the kind of service that you're getting, I think is really critical for our city.
Okay.
And so that's all I have.
All right, so if I'm hearing our council correctly, it looks like at least 3 of you, 3.5 of you are concurring with the recommendation from our Public Safety Commission. So with that, unless there's more discussion or unless someone would like to comment on something that was said after they spoke, I think we could do a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to add one more thing.
bet.
You know, it's always difficult going with the higher proposal when, you know, one of our roles is to be a fiduciary on behalf of the city and the community. But the gravity of the direction we go, the cost each year, there's major implications.
Sure.
And it pales in comparison to a difference of 20,000. I think it's important that, even though cost is definitely important, getting the right product is what we need to do.
Okay. All right, with that, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll give it a shot.
I'm sure there's one on the memo.
Yeah, I didn't even occur to me to look at that. I'll just fake it and see how I do. There we go. Mr. Mayor, I propose that we approve Matrix as the consultant we choose to do the law enforcement study for the city of Hayden.
Second.
Do we need?
Mr. Mayor, if I could just
Yep.
reframe what I think you're saying relative to the action that has to happen relative to your decision tonight, and that would be to direct staff to negotiate a contract and bring back that contract.
Thank you.
As stated?
As stated, yes, thank you.
Second.
Is that all right? All right, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I second it.
All right, let's do a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Roeder,
Yes.
Councilmember Erickson,
Yes.
Council President DePriest.
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer.
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to new business. Our first new business tonight is to consider a proposal to complete a spatial needs assessment. As council's probably aware, our city is growing. We need to look into the future for our needs for where employees will physically be located. We've got projects in the future that could offer us some relief from the office spaces we have now. And so we are proposing to do a spatial needs assessment so we have a data-driven decision to help guide us.
Mr. Mayor, if I could
Want to
also just add that relative to the strategic goal-setting session that we had and finished last Friday, as we start to make decisions and we're bringing forward decisions relevant to those goals, this was one that ranked in the high priority ranking. So this decision to move forward with this will help to accomplish that goal.
And there is a fee proposal for professional services in the board book packet. Comments,
Yeah, I have a question.
questions, yes?
And I guess, Lisa, I'm sorry, I should have asked you this.
Oh, I'm good on the fly,
Vote
just
on
try
you.
me today.
Is that on the front cover page, it says that we budgeted $16,000 for this. But then when I look down below on page 1 of his fee proposal, he says 24,000, so.
They wanted a master agreement to allow to them to go up to 24,000 for additional line item requests, like if we came back and said, can you do something, dig in deeper? But the way I wrote the contract, or the motion was to limit it to 8,000 without prior council approval, so they'll be tapped out at 8. And then if we have more tasks, we'll come back before you with those, but likely under the same contract.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Does anybody know the last time we did this type of analysis to know kind of what we have to work with for, it's not been done?
I'm not aware of it.
So this is a good reason to do it. So that's why I bring it up. I think it's a great time to be looking at, to be as efficient as possible, so.
Okay. The memo itself, you might want to use the agenda item since there's not a proposed motion in there, but there is good language on the agenda item that limits the contract amount if councils would consider such.
Could you ask that question again?
So I didn't provide a draft motion, so if you use the agenda item on the motion as the, I move to, and then you read the agenda item, it should dovetail as a motion as well.
I'll make a motion to consider spatial needs assessment with Bernardo Wills and authorize mayor to sign for a cost not to exceed without council approval of $8,000.
Okay?
Second.
Any discussion? Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Council President DePreez?
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilmember Roder?
Yes.
Councilmember Erickson?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on to our Veterans Commission recommendation for our 2026 Memorial Day guest speaker. I do want to thank the commission for working with our staff to present their recommendation this year. And with that, does council have any questions on or comments about the guest speaker? Prospective or tentatively Helen Gordon Nelson. Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion?
Sure. First of all, I guess I will make a comment. It seems apropos as though, if I'm not mistaken, this is her son who's, brother, I'm sorry, brother who's, what do we call that out there? Court?
Memorial Plaza.
Memorial Plaza is named after. So I would move to approve the Veterans Commission recommendation of 2026 Memorial Day guest speaker Helen Gordon Nelson.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Erickson?
Yes.
Councilmember Roder?
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer?
Yes.
Council President DePreez?
Yes.
Okay, our next item is for council to consider the date of August 25th, 2026 for our fiscal year 2027 budget public hearing. I believe it's the same date we used last year.
It's one day off.
One day off, all right.
August 25th, you said?
Yes.
August 25th. That'll be our public hearing, so that'll be the,
So, Mr. Mayor, if I could offer for consumption of the council and the public here tonight, that typically when we pick this date, we go backwards from that date to look at how we set our workshops and our budget kind of deadlines for different departments and workshopping with council. And so what I provided to you along with that date is that schedule. You'll note on the schedule that there are some blank dates on when we hold the strategic planning meeting and the second budget meeting and any further budget discussions. And that's something I'm hoping to have further conversations with council. It does not have to be tonight, but just to get feedback on when you want to have those meetings. So, but if we set the date, then staff will come back with some suggestions for consideration.
So we're not setting any other dates other than that?
You
tonight?
can, but I wasn't anticipating that you guys would do that. I just was trying to get the data publication set so that we can work backwards on the dates that have to be
how
met.
about I ask Abby to send an email out with council's preferences for our strategic planning workshops And then everybody can give their availability for the months of April, May, and June.
Are there tentative dates on there at all, or no?
No.
There's not tentative dates, there's just tentative months.
Right.
Right.
Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
With me.
Okay. Would anybody like to consider approving the date that we have our public, or approval of our budget and annual appropriations ordinance?
One quick question. Lisa, during that public hearing, is it common for there to be a lot of public comments where it would be a longer meeting?
Generally speaking, we have typically received a few public comments. Usually if we're contemplating something large, like a big change or a big budget line item, then you might get more, but at this point, I think we've had less than 5 speak.
Last 2 years have been pretty quiet.
Admittedly, I think we do a very good job of bringing the public along through our workshops and our other meetings, that we're hoping by the time you're at the place of having a public hearing, and just for clarity of what the mayor mentioned, public hearing and appropriation ordinance, this is just setting the date of the public hearing. The appropriation ordinance has to be sometime before September 30th, I believe. So that being said, the public hearing is the most important. We have to deliver that date to the clerk in compliance with Idaho code. So I'm hoping for the same results this year. I'm hoping that we do a good job of bringing the public along in our process, and we do produce, or at least the last 2 years, we produced a budget book that's made for the public's consumption that I think is very helpful, and we put that on our website. So, yeah, but yeah, speaking wise, I don't think we get a lot of public comment.
Yeah, no problem.
This would be the part where someone makes a motion.
I thought you were waiting for somebody to
I
spoil the
move
silence.
that we make August 25th, 2026 for fiscal year 2027 budget public hearings.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? May we get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilmember Erickson?
Yes.
Council President DePreez?
Yes.
Councilmember Roder?
Yes.
Okay, our next item is considering records for destruction. Idaho code gives us a retention schedule, and we have records that have been reviewed by our city attorney. And we simply need a resolution to be approved to allow for the destruction of these documents. It's $150 and a lot of shredding.
We have a burn barrel and cook hot dogs.
If you want poisonous hot
I was
dogs,
gonna
although
say, paper.
that's a
No, thanks.
duplicative statement.
In all seriousness, I went through the list and there's nothing.
Okay,
Yeah, so I motion that we approve the documents of record for destruction as stated in this memo. Is that good
Second.
enough?
is that a reasonable?
You're scowling at me. I must not have said it right.
Do we want to be more specific
Okay.
on what those records are? So that it's not,
It's a long list.
More so it would be approving the resolution,
Okay.
authorizing destruction of the records.
I motion that we approve this resolution to destroy city records that have surpassed the retention period as stated in Idaho's code and in the city's records and retention schedule. Exhibit A has been reviewed by the city attorney and the Idaho State Historic Society, and the records listed are not considered historic records, and therefore paper copies are no longer needed to be retained. There you go.
Perfect.
All right, motion and a second. Any discussion? May I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Roder?
Yes.
Councilmember Erickson?
Yes.
Council President DePreez?
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer?
Yes.
Okay, our next item is also a resolution, and it is to affirm final completion and acceptance of infrastructure for the H6 sewer basin projects.
so Mr. Mayor, if I could jump in and just make council aware of the purpose of this resolution is to formally accept the infrastructure of the H6 basin and the improvements made thereof so that we can complete the public-private funding partnership that we did to build this and then start our reimbursement process with them. So acceptance is the point at which we take that over and we can say that the project's completed.
Any questions for Lisa or Alan?
Nope.
All right, so I want to make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, a resolution affirming final completion and acceptance of infrastructure for the H6 sewer basin projects.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Make a roll call vote, please.
Council President DePriest,
Yes.
Councilmember Roder,
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer.
Yes.
Councilmember Erickson.
Yes.
All right, well done, council. That's all of our action items tonight. We're going to go on to, Alan is going to present a Public Works construction season presentation.
Right,
This is a blue anchor.
just want to give the city citizens and the council kind of a feel for what we're expecting this summer. It's not probably as big as we had last summer with all the sewer projects, but it'll get busy.
Alan, I appreciate it. We asked for this last fall and to see you guys following through. This is great. Thank you.
So the first thing I want to bring up are, we have two city-funded construction projects that we're hoping to do. The first one is the Hayden and Atlas temporary signal, where staff is currently working on that. We've got some plans for the widening that we need to do to put that in place, and we're also working with the adjacent property owners, and so we're still hoping to have this finished before the end of the summer. We're looking at a couple $100,000 to complete that, is what our estimate is. And the second, I think we've talked about, and that is the Ramsey Honeysuckle Roundabout. We have agreements for all the right-of-way now, and hopefully we'll have that secured here this week. And we are, on your agenda tonight was an agreement to get this project bid, to have a firm take this out to bid. We're estimating the construction and administration of that construction will be about $3.4 million. It'll be a full summer project to get this completed. So these two projects will, especially the roundabout, will create some traffic in the area of Honeysuckle and Ramsey. So
I'm not sure you could degrade that intersection anymore.
it'll be a little more far-reaching.
Alan, can I ask a question?
You bet.
For that temporary signal, the future plans is for that to be a roundabout.
Yes,
that
it is.
right? For those temporary signals, are any of those components able to be reused for future temporary signals?
A lot of the components we will use for that are already components that we have in storage. All the signal heads, we
Got
have
it.
all the
Okay.
signal heads available. We have, I don't know if we have too much. We have a cabinet, but I don't know what additional equipment we're going to need that in a cabinet. So we have some of the equipment already. It is certainly, any of that equipment is also available for another temporary signal or something down the road as we step into these projects, so.
So most of those costs, I imagine, is the widening of the.
Temporary widening of the roadway, and
Okay.
then to install that, we have to put poles up, we have to
Yeah.
put span wire up, we have traffic control, we do have additional equipment that we'll need to implement it, so, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Alan, question for you. Given that these two intersections are in a proximity that once the Honeysuckle Ramsey starts getting worked on, are we staggering them such, in other words, if we're not working on them at the same time, people might be using the second intersection because the first one's being worked on?
We will
That makes sense.
we will coordinate the traffic control, but there will be overlap, and it will be
There will be
a
some overlap.
challenge. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have another, if I go to the next slide. Oop, let's go forward, huh? This is our chip seal projects here. So these, of course, again, these are short-term delays, but they're also probably like a 3 days that we'll have these roads temporarily shut down. And if you look at this, it's It's mainly Reed Road, and then we've got Honeysuckle, part of Hayden, part of Dakota, part of Miles, Wyoming, and then maybe Warren Street. We have two schedules, Schedule A and Schedule B. We have budgeted just under $1 million, $908,000, I think is what it is for this work. And Schedule A is under that, depending on whether that goes. We want to be able to award, so we try to hit someplace around that number. And if we get lucky, we might be able to do both schedules. If not, we may only be able to do Schedule A. But it'll be fitting the budget that we have to complete this project. So this will take place this summer. Yes, Councilman Schaefer.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
How many total lane miles for this one?
This, Schedule A is just under 17 lane miles.
Okay.
And Schedule
Is
B
that
is
up
another
there?
just under 3 lane miles. So we're hitting real close to where we want to be. And I think in our workshop, I told you we were short, but I think, and Ty pointed out to me after, he goes, no, we're actually getting really good. So I wanted to say that we are closer than I thought.
So
in the meeting the other day.
slid in my second question was at our strategic plan,
It was around 18.
you talked about increasing over what historically the city has done. And is this an increase?
This is an increase over what we've been doing. And again, of course, these numbers again are based on numbers we got last year, which were really good. So we're hoping we get another good bid.
Okay.
With the oil costs going up, it's always, we don't, the market drives what we can do.
Yep.
So
Okay.
For, when a road gets chip sealed, what is the lifespan of that?
Hayden Avenue might be close to 5 years, but some of these other lower roads will be 7 to 8 years.
Got it, okay.
So it's really, the amount of traffic on it. The heavier roads, we try to use a little bit larger chip, which lasts a little bit longer.
Okay.
And the other roads, we try to use a little bit smaller chip because it rides a little bit better. So it's kind of a balancing act.
Got it.
So the other projects that we're going to see happen this summer, these are all developer-driven projects. So when I say other projects, these right now are anticipated to happen this summer. It's not saying that they will. It's really whether developers get to where they want to be and if they have any hiccups or how they're going. So they're labeled A through H, and E and G are the two projects we already talked about. That'd be the temporary signal and the roundabout. So you've got Hayden Canyon has a project that will be happening along Government Way from where they have already done north to the entrance into the Hayden Canyon School. So they would have frontage improvements on Government Way. They would have probably one roundabout and maybe another intersection that would be developed on Government Way as part of that project that would impact with traveling public. And then B is Mark's Ranch. They want to do their next phase, which means they would be responsible for the frontage on Lancaster Road. And they would also be putting in another approach. So that would be work that would be on public roadways that would be impacting the traffic. Moving down to,
Alan, how's the road issue up at Mark's Ranch? Is that getting resolved still?
it's all being resolved. I mean, it's ongoing, Mayor.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it will be resolved.
Oh, I know it will be. I was just curious, are they finished? Are they still working on it?
No, they're still working on a plan.
Okay.
Does that mean connection through to Rocking Arm?
I'm going to say that is my belief. I'm not sure that there's a reciprocal belief on the part of the developer, and that will be something that will probably be debated, maybe by legal terms. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna skip a little bit because I just saw H over there. It looks like it's about at the roundabout.
It is.
So, is there gonna be like an intersection into the roundabout or or 50 feet from that's gonna be pretty tight.
Yeah, I'll just jump to H
Thank you.
for you, Councilman
Thank
DePriest.
you.
It is the property on the north, it's that farm on the north side of
Yeah.
the roundabout. They are going to develop that. It will be a road that is on the very west edge of their property. It'd be a right in, right out. It's separated, and they'll be able to get in because they can go around the roundabout from either direction, but exiting, they will be forced to only go west out of there. But they're connected internally, so that gets them connection to Fanouken Drive, gets them connection to Maple Street as well.
All the way over to Maple.
Yes. So they'll have internal connections out too, so it just adds one
They're
more
going to tie
connection.
into what that relatively new development?
Yes, the fields.
And come across? Mm-hmm. All right.
So there will be some minor frontage improvements on Honeysuckle. A lot of it's already completed with the roundabout, so it's just a little bit of extension to the west on that. They're moving gangbusters on that, so I think that's pretty good that'll happen. It's unnamed, so I don't think that'll
Do we
continue to
know
be
at
the
this-
unnamed subdivision. They'll
Do you know
probably
at
get
this
one.
point in time how many potential units dwelling
I
there?
do not know that.
Yeah, getting a little bit ahead of ourselves and the fact that
I know,
we're
yeah, I know.
insinuating subdivisions that could come forward,
Yeah, I get
realistically,
it.
we may be able to let that out, not let this H in, since we don't technically have that
Back
plat in yet.
to C, Hayden Sky PUD. Hayden Sky PUD has been in front of you. That's across from the Carrington Apartments on Hayden Avenue. They're moving to get going this summer. That would include the intersection improvements for Hayden Hutter and Hayden Carrington, and the frontage improvements between the two on the north side of that road. Those would all be in the public right of way. Again, more work out on that Hayden Avenue potentially this summer. And then D is Maybury subdivision. It's across from Hayden Meadows, no, Atlas School across Atlas Avenue, just one lot south of Honeysuckle. So there would be a small section of frontage improvements and a rectangular rapid flashing beacon for crossing to the access to the school from that side of the road. So that would be a good addition. And then we have F, which is Madison Ranch. They're still wanting to come in. Their subdivision was approved a number of years ago. It's been on hold, and they're talking about trying to get that going, which is just west of the Carrington Apartments. And there would be a new road started on that point. It would be the, I probably wrote it down here. Let's see here. Downing, yes, I did. Downing Road intersection. Yes, Councilman DePreez.
What is the status of Hayden and Hutter intersection? Last I've seen, heard there was not agreement or there were issues to be determined. Is that cleared up?
There's a number of different opportunities to get that constructed. If this subdivision moves forward, those issues all go away, as far as I know.
Okay,
That's my best guess.
I got you, thank you.
So that's what that,
E and G we're missing on there.
Those are
E and G are the two projects the city is doing. One is the roundabout and the temporary signal at, just kind of gives you how the parts of town, what you don't see is the chip seal laid inside of this. And if you did, you'll see that the city's, like it is almost every year is impacted. The chip seal's a short time frame, so you'll have it when it happens. It'll be right in front of your house, Mr. DePreez.
Yeah.
And then, it's gone.
Yeah. My yard is full of gravel.
So that is what you can expect this summer. I can email this presentation to any of you if you want it, so, or actually Abby can get it to you all really easily. So,
Yes, please.
any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alan. All right, we're going to move on to our city administrator report and calendar review.
Okay, just a couple updates for council. Next Tuesday, the 17th, I'll be doing, at the request of North Idaho Builders and Contractors Association, or NIPCA, a State of the City address, and so I'm working on that. I've done one every year for the last.
NIPCA, State of the City.
Sorry. Yeah, State of the City address with NIPCA.
Where?
At their facility there.
Fourth?
On Fourth and Coeur d'Alene. As you've been seeing through email correspondence between AIC and APA Idaho, which is the American Planning Association, there's a number of bills that are being tracked right now and being asked to speak. They're looking for people who are affected parties who wish to speak at Senate and House bills being considered. So, I don't know if there's any interest in wanting to do that, but if there is, it'd be nice to hear your interest so that we can, the staff will know about it.
Can,
Yes?
these bills, are these the ones that have caught our attention?
These should be the ones that you know about. So the one, the Senate bills brought forward by Senator, is it
Hayes and
Taves?
Representative Redmond.
And then there's a one tomorrow, House Bill 801, which, remind me, I'm drawing a blank now on.
That's the religious one.
Oh, yeah, to deal with development on religious properties owned by churches. So that one's going up tomorrow. Today, there was two of them, the House Bill 1352 and 1354 over density and accessory dwelling units. As mentioned, and you decided on the time for the public hearing for the fiscal year 27's budget hearing. Staff's working towards our first strategic planning workshop, so look forward to seeing that. Future correspondence, likely from myself or the clerk, on setting that date. Usually we do that in April.
What days would those testimony be done?
Is that?
You asked if anybody here wanted to speak on behalf of the city, is that what you're asking?
Well, we were wondering if you guys were. I'm just essentially trying to understand if there's anybody going to speak, that you just let us know. That's all. I'm not telling you you
Maybe a little
can't.
bit of an update on it.
Yeah, we need an update.
Okay, hang on, when we get to council comments, I'll give you a pretty good rundown.
Okay.
And as mentioned, and Alan did a great job describing some of the projects that we've got coming up just in Public Works. We didn't talk about the other departments, but it's shaping up to be a very busy summer for us. So we'll be giving you updates along the way. Unless there's any questions for me at this point, and that was my update.
Thank you, Lisa. To that, I'll add real quick, Monday and Tuesday, I'll be at the 2026 Innovia Leadership Summit in Spokane. So I'll find out what that is all about and let council know what's going on. With that, any reports from council? No.
I'll give a somewhat of a report, I guess. Seeing as I've been watching all of these legislative hearings related to, in particular, 3 bills that are going to affect us significantly if passed. Our good senator, local Senator Taves and Representative Redmond are basically the co-sponsors of or authors of the bills. And Senate Bill 1354 is, let me back up here, 1353 was passed out of the Senate committee, and it has been sitting on the Senate floor awaiting a hearing, most likely tomorrow. It seems to have been pushed back the last 2 days, and that's for the twin and duplex homes to be allowed to be built basically on any residentially zoned land. Permit the development of twin homes and duplex at any lot where detached single-family dwelling is permitted, prohibit imposing minimum lot size requirements, prohibit requiring more than 1 off-street parking, prohibiting imposing impact fees or utility connection fees on twin homes or duplexes, shall be approved administratively and as a matter of right without need for discretionary approval. That's sitting there waiting for a hearing. Today, Senate Bill 1352 was in committee, and that's called the Starter Home Subdivision Bill. Prohibits requiring minimum lot sizes exceeding 1,400 square feet, prohibits requiring front or rear setbacks exceeding 15 feet or side setbacks exceeding 5 feet. Here's the good one. Allowing density restrictions of no less than 12 dwelling units per acre, okay, on any residential zone, okay? It was, at first this afternoon, they had the hearing on it. It was first voted down 5-4. But well, how do I say this politically correctly with decorum?
Try.
The author brought up such things as our World War II soldiers coming back and living in small houses and just about everything you could talk about. And so it was moved to put on what is called the 14th order, which sends it to the Senate to make amendments to it. So my guess is they go into their room and they hash it out to make amendments to it. And then they'll probably bring it back after they feel that they have horse traded enough. But the main thing is it's 12 units per acre, and it takes away the council's ability basically to determine zoning, which de facto takes away the citizens voting. And one senator, I believe his name was Taylor, in fact, made this statement in this hearing this afternoon, that if the state passes this, it will give the cities cover, and they can blame the state when the citizens say, what is this? And you hear it often enough where we say, hey, it's state statute, we really don't have any choice in it, but that's what this is going to do, basically. It's not, we aren't going to have a choice. Someone comes in and says, we want 12 units, we're going to have a starter home subdivision per the statute. That, when people come to the hearing and say this and that, we say, well, talk to your state legislators. It's them, all right? And the other one is they push it off until tomorrow because 1352, the starter home, took so long in hearing today. Now, this is Bill 1354 for ADUs, accessory dwelling units. And it's pretty much allowing, shall be approved administratively as a matter of right without need for discretionary approval. And let's see, I didn't highlight enough on here because I didn't get to it, but it's pretty much allowing, there's no city shall enact, enforce any ordinance, rule, regulation, policy that bans accessory dwelling units in any residential zoning area within its jurisdiction, classified as residential land for zoning purposes. By October 1st, 2026, by resolution or ordinance adopted, amended, or repealed, and this is on all three of them, by October 1st, in accordance with the notice of hearing procedure provided under section 676509, each city governing body shall amend its comprehensive plan and land use regulations for all land zone for single-family residential uses, except for lands falling within areas defined as historic district. Allow for one internal accessory dwelling single family and one detached. So let's see, you get the duplex and the twin home on a lot, and then you have one internal and one external on each of those on a lot, so you can do the math. Prohibits requiring any off-street parking or guest parking. Prohibits imposing impact fees other than those on single-family dwellings. Prohibits limiting size of an accessory dwelling unit to less than 1,000 square feet or 75% of the size, et cetera, et cetera. But that's kind of an update on what our good local Senator Taves and your Representative Redmond are trying to impose on the city and the citizens.
Thank you, Ed.
Yep.
Comment?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, Fonda, do you have anything that you would like to say about these pending bills that might in fact affect the city? It just,
The only thing that, first of all, we have to be really careful. This is council comment period, and we can't let it evolve into a discussion item that's not agendized. So I think that we probably could have and/or should have agendized a legislative update so that we can have an appropriate discussion. With regards to just what has been reported, it's absolutely accurate where the process is. Councilmember DePriest has accurately described the substance of the bills that are moving forward. I think if they pass, we will need to have a robust discussion publicly, if any of them pass, as to how this affects your zoning and how this affects your ability to limit density at all, if at all, within the city. And so maybe not tonight, but substantively, if any of them pass, yes, we will need to have a robust discussion about how this affects your ability within the city to limit zoning and what it might require moving forward for evaluation of maintenance costs of infrastructure and all the things that you can see coming down the road already, if any of these pass. As far as comment goes, I would remind council that if you testify, you have not publicly discussed whether or not any one of you have unilateral authority to speak on behalf of the city. So you only have the ability to speak as an individual. Of course, you have a First Amendment right to testify as an individual at any one of these hearings, but you haven't, as a council, made a decision whether you were going to task any one of you with being a representative of the city, so be very careful not to do that.
Can I suggest for the next council meeting that this be an item for discussion?
I was going to do that.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
All right, very
We're on
good.
it.
And I will not be at the next council meeting, but we will
Oh,
be
you
prepared.
won't? Oh, that's right, yeah. Do you
I think
want
if
us
it's
to?
agendized correctly, I think we can certainly navigate into discussions on it. So
Okay.
we'll make sure we do that.
Just for comment for people here in the audience and will watch this online, this is a huge, huge issue for Hayden.
For every city.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, for the
yeah,
whole
for every
state.
city, but,
Yep.
you know,
Not just us.
I think speaking collectively for everybody here in the dais, that we care about these decisions being made locally, and this is going to usurp that ability.
And I would add that this isn't a situation where anybody sat on their hands, for lack of a better term. These bills were being drafted very quietly. They were not rolled out until they were ready to hit a committee. Nobody was aware of them. They were kept very close to the vest the entire time and rolled out at a very, very late date and put everybody back on their heels without a lot of opportunity to provide substantive comment or suggested changes.
I need to make, related to that. They keep relating to an interim committee that they had this past off season, I guess, through the summer and whatever. And I'd heard this and that about it. The housing, Kiki Miller had a housing meeting Monday night or whatever it is, where there was testimony, or not testimony, but Senator Taves was on Zoom. But anyways, at this meeting, I had discussion with a county official, and I have seen other testimony from individuals from all over the state related to cities and councils and things like that. And they almost all have commented that not one of them were contacted for any type of comment on this. That it was this what appears to be a select group, you know, that has led to the development of these bills, but they seem to have conveniently not sought the input from those who it really affects the most directly. So these are your Senator Taves and Representative Redmond, who are putting these bills out.
All right, with that, let's roll on to any requests for future agenda items.
I already covered that.
You covered one. Any others? All right, I'm hearing none. So at this point, for those members in the audience and for the internet, have a safe evening, drive home safely. Our next item is to potentially go into executive session in support of Idaho Code 74206 1C and 74206 1F. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we enter executive session.
Pursuant to the sections as listed by the mayor?
As stated by the
Yeah.
mayor.
Okay? so
Second.
Second. Maybe we got a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Roeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Schaefer?
Yes.
Council President David?
Whoa.
Sorry. Council President DePreez?
Sure.
Councilmember Erickson?
Yes.
Okay, let's reconvene at 6:05 and
That was a-
enter executive session.
Quick demotion.
You're fired.